Hello and welcome to the Hallway Healthcare training video for SOAPIE Notes. So when you log into hallway.devero.com right here, you'll be brought to the home screen or to the login screen. You're going to enter your username, which is the first initial of your first name and then last name, unless otherwise told so. Your password is capital W, lowercase e, L-C-O-M-E, as in welcome, 1, 2, 3, exclamation point. You're going to log in, and you'll be brought to the home screen. Up here is where you will select your patient. Here's the patient profile, patient chart, the patient MAR, and the patient schedule. So for training purposes, you're going to type in test, and it'll bring up the test patient. If you click on the patient profile, you will see the test patient's address, phone number, date of birth, everything that pertains to them. And you can go through that. Go back to the home screen. Go to the patient chart. Then you will see all of the nurse's notes, physician's orders, care coordination notes, and then the SOAPIE notes and skilled nurse visit notes. Go back to the home screen, the patient MAR. It shows that it's blank, but that is because it's in the wrong period, the certification period. Try clicking the next one. There's all the meds. Go back to the home screen, and we're going to start the SOAPIE note. So the SOAPIE note is found right here. SOAPIE notes are to be done every 2 hours during your shift. You will only have one SOAPIE note for every 2 hours. So if you have two things that's happening with your patient within a 2-hour period, you want to pick the highest skill that you performed during that 2-hour period. So go ahead and click on SOAPIE notes. And let's get started. So my shift started at 7 a.m. and I'm working till 7 p.m. So this SOAPIE note is for 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. because they are every 2 hours. Subjective. My patient states that he is short of breath. So that's what I'm going to put. That is my subjective. Objective, assessment, plan, and interventions, they are all templates. So you're going to click on the red boxes. And then I'm going to find in here if there is a impaired gas exchange template that I like. Here's impaired gas exchange. If I scroll down, oh, it's still loading. There's a couple in there, and then there's a lot of blanks. So there's a lot of this, but I just want to select my own. So I want impaired gas exchange, so I'm going to do insert from template. I'm going to find impaired gas exchange, because if you look, there's all of these nursing diagnoses. Many, many, many that you can choose from. And when you're choosing which nursing diagnoses, which care plan you want to do, you want to always do a SOAPIE note that pertains to your patient, to your patient's covered condition. So I'm going to click impaired gas exchange. This is the only template it's bringing up. I'm going to select it and insert template to eligibility. And when I do that, I'm going to let it load. And scroll down and look for mine that's already selected, highlighted. There it is, okay? That's the one I want. I don't want anything else, so I'm not gonna select anything else. I'm gonna scroll to the bottom in the left-hand corner right here, insert it to my form. There it all is, okay? Now, if some of these didn't pertain to my patient, you can select eligibility, go back to impaired gas exchange, and you can delete, if you double click inside the boxes, you can delete any of these that you want to. Just like that, okay? Prognosis. This is the only box where you're going to add the patient's covered condition. So when you select prognosis, you're going to select impaired gas exchange, because that's what we're doing our entire SOAPIE Note on. So I'm going to insert from template. I'm going to select it, insert template to prognosis, scroll down to mine, that's blue highlighted, there it is. Let's back up really quick. We need to, like I said, we are going to insert the patient's covered condition. So we're going to highlight this at the very top. This box, this progress note, will always have the patient's covered condition. So you're going to highlight it, copy it, go to prognosis, go to impaired gas exchange, select it, insert template to prognosis, go to the blue highlighted, which you selected, double click, and so you can edit it. The patient's diagnosis or covered condition goes right here. Choose all diagnosis that apply listed above. So just copy that, delete it, and insert by pasting your patient's covered condition. So go through this, read, and select anything that pertains to your patient, and delete anything that does not pertain to your patient. And then as evidenced by, this says it twice, so I'm going to delete that. And then you're going to insert 1 to 2 objective signs or symptoms. So as evidenced by patient stating, I am short of breath, because that's what he said. And you could also insert another sign or symptom, which could be anything like respiratory rate is whatever you like, 22. Okay, and you're going to insert to form. Make sure it is selected, and then scroll to the bottom left-hand corner, insert to form. There it is. And here is my patient's covered condition listed in my assessment prognosis. Goals. Select the red goals. Insert from template. Unless there is a goal in here in this impaired gas exchange that you like. But just for training purposes, I'm going to open a new one. Impaired gas exchange goals. Here are all the goals. You're going to select them. Insert template to goals. Wait for it to load. And here's mine. Now these are a lot of goals, so you only want to select 2 to maybe 4. Okay, so patient maintains optimal gas exchange as evidenced by usual mental status, unlabored respirations at 12 to 20 per minute, oximetry results within normal range, blood gases within normal range, and baseline heart rate for patient. That's a good goal. I'm going to keep that. Patient maintains clear lung fields and remains field free of signs of respiratory distress. I'm going to keep that because I'm going to be auscultating their lung sounds. Patient verbalizes understanding of oxygen and other therapeutic interventions. Okay, that's a good one. And then, so I've already picked 3 good goals, so I'm going to delete these 2, just like that. Just highlight and delete. Okay, so now I'm going to insert this into my SOAPIE Note. There it is, my 3 goals. Interventions. What did you do as the nurse? Insert from template. Impaired gas exchange interventions. And here is a long list of interventions that you could have done. So you're just gonna have to go through them and pick the best interventions. You wanna pick 3 to 5 good interventions that you did to help this patient when he was having impaired gas exchange, when he was stating that he was short of breath. So go through these, pick some good interventions, and move on. So they insert to the template. Just waiting for it to load. Okay. As you can see, mine are highlighted in here. And FYI, this will never take this long when you're doing it. I just need to go through this and delete all of the extras. So mine are blue highlighted, so I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom and insert to form. And here are my interventions. Now for evaluation, you need to type this out. You want to state what the problem was, what you did, and what was the patient's outcome after you performed your interventions. So my patient stated he was short of breath, so patient having trouble breathing, skilled nurse assessed O2 sat and respiratory rate. O2 sat 92% on room air. Respiratory rate, I already said 22, so 22. So after you assess, what did you do? So skilled nurse applied, or you can say, let me back that up, okay. O2 given via nasal cannula at 2 liters per minute. Skilled nurse reassessed patient 10 minutes post O2 sat 92%. Current O2 sat is 98% on O2 nasal cannula at 2 liters per minute. Skilled nurse will continue to reassess patient respiratory rate and O2 sat. Also want to add in respiratory rate right here. Respiratory rate is within normal range now, so it's on a 17. You want to put something like that. You want to say what the problem was, what you did, and what was the patient's outcome. And that is it. That's it for the SOAPIE note. So if I'm done with this SOAPIE note, I can either save it. So if I save it, brings me back to the home page. If I go to patient chart and I scroll to the bottom of these notes, here's my note. Okay? If I want to click back into it and I'm ready to send it to the office, I'm done with it. I check the time, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Okay, 2 hours. I stated my problem or the patient's problem. Impaired gas exchange, impaired gas exchange, impaired gas exchange, impaired gas exchange. Okay, it's all on the same nursing diagnosis and care plan. So I'm going to send it to office. And that is it for the SOAPIE note. Like I said, you want to create SOAPIE notes every 2 hours of your shift. And that is all.